Hey guys, and the video, but there's an issue right now. I can't get my daggum microphone to work. Oh, that's a rip on this intro, boys. I'm done. Look, so before my microphone decides it wants to spaz out again, I got another one of my friends who does play this game quite often, actually, to test out one of the builds that I'm doing, a Stamina Templar build. Here's that result. So, just set his back. It's making a return, and you know what it does. You know what it does.
Yes.
I got. Go find out real quick. You know, it needs to be more.
Your mic is so bad right now.
Is it just crackling?
Yeah, it is. Welcome back.
Oh, thank you. This does have to be difficult. Come on.
What are my... Where are all the buffs? I do not... I barely remember my characters, so... All the buffs. Oops.
You missed, Evellynn. How did you miss?
I do like being able to kill things. You know, when it works out.
Wait, so your other builds don't kill things?
Ah! Well, that was nice.
Would Evellynn put her stamp of approval on it?
Well, it's better than mine, so yes.
Very nice. Crackling microphones aside, only one of you requested I should make this Stamina Templar build, so I went through with it, and I had a lot of fun with it. You know, I got some clips, and had some fun playing it on stream. Alright, do we have enough for this? We do. It's gonna be really sad for him. Ouch. Ouch. I can. Last one. I don't know how that was. Anyways, if you end up enjoying my content, please consider subscribing and leaving a like on this video to show your support, because I enjoy making videos, and it's nice to know that people watch them. Now, let's get on to the build. Okay, for our character sheet, we have no points into magic, we have 63 points into health, and we have 1 point into stamina. So here are the unbuffed stats of the front bar. You can see the numbers there for yourself. And here are the unbuffed stats of the back bar. And if at any point you need a pause to read these, go ahead. Here are the front bar stats buffed, and here are the back bar's stats buffed. Do note these numbers do get higher while in combat. For the potions, we are using tri-stat potions. You can't really go wrong with these. They give us everything we need when we use them, including recoveries. And be sure to pick up the medicinal use passive in the alchemy tree to get more mileage out of your potions. Weapon poisons are optional. I don't use them on this build personally, but if you were, just use double dot poisons. Simple and effective. For the food, we are using lava foot soup and salt rice, a very good food, giving us max stamina and some stam recovery. For the race, on this character, I'm a Khajiit. I would not recommend being a Khajiit, as it's not the most effective you can make this build, because I'm not spending $25 to change that. The number one race I would recommend would be Dark Elf. Dark Elves come with really good passives equipped for being a Templar, giving you maximum stamina and magic, and increasing your flame resistance, which is important in this patch because everyone's a Dragonite, and also increasing your weapon and spell damage, pushing the power of this build even further. If not a Dark Elf, Orc would work too. Very strong option. You can see the theme there of weapon and spell damage being increased. And the third option I would recommend would be an Imperial. I find my sustain is okay as is, but still Imperial's a really good option. Overall, any race could work if you have the skill to back up your playstyle. Our Mundus stone is the Serpent because it will increase our stamina recovery, and when paired with our Lava Foot food, we get a bunch more recovery, and it also scales very well with the endurance that we get from our potion and rally. Hey guys, and welcome to my build video. Here's the gear. On our front bar, we host the meta Plague Break. We have a Plague Break mace with a shock enchantment. It is Nirnhoned. On our offhand, we have Plague Break mace as well with a disease glyph, and it is sharpened. On our back bar, we have the Vatishrand's Greatsword with a weapon damage enchantment, and it is powered. I would put defending here, but I already have this sword, so I'm not going to change a thing. If you don't have the Greatsword or any of the Vatishrand two hands, you could just use a Greatsword of the trainee on the back bar. For our head, we have a deadly helmet with a tri-stat enchantment. It is impenetrable. For the chest, we have a heavy trainee chest with a tri-stat enchantment. It is reinforced, and it's a one-piece bonus which gives us a line of health. For the shoulders, we have deadly shoulders with a stamina enchantment, and they are well fitted. For the belt, we have a deadly belt with a stamina enchantment. It is impenetrable. For the gloves, we have Plague Break bracers. They have a stamina enchantment on them, and they are impenetrable. For the legs, we have Plague Break with a stamina enchantment, and those are well fitted. And on the foots, we have Plague Break with a stamina enchantment, and those are impenetrable. For the jewelry, we have a deadly necklace. It is infused with a weapon damage glyph. And for our rings, the first ring we have is a deadly ring. It is swift with a stamina recovery enchantment on it. And for our second ring, we are running the Marken Ring of Majesty. It is swift with a weapon damage enchantment on it. I tried infused on here, but I enjoy having swift because 2 swift pieces of jewelry equals 1 wild hunt ring, which if you don't have the Marken Ring of Majesty, you could use wild hunt in its place. And if you don't have any mythic rings at all, go ahead and put a trainee ring on there. And if you can't infuse or change the trait of any of the jewelry, robust is okay, but you'll lose out on all of the weapon power that you could get with the mythics. For the front bar, our first ability is Power of the Light, a very, very powerful burst skill. Copies all of the damage that you deal to the enemy and also afflicts them with Breach. This is your combo setting skill. Next, we have Camouflaged Hunter, as we call it Camo Hunter. We have this on our bar to buff it. It can pull enemies out of stealth, but we're not mainly using it for that. We are using it for the buffs that it gives us while it's slotted passively with the Fighters Guild passives, and also attacking an enemy from behind will give us Minor Berserk, which will increase our damage done by 5%. Next, we have Resolving Vigor, a very powerful stamina heal that'll give us the health we need when we cast it. Next, we have Binding Javelin as our CC. I find this skill more useful than Toppling Charge for a few reasons. One, it costs stamina, and second, it hits harder than Toppling Charged and can be tossed instead of taking you to the enemy. Next, we have the signature move of the Templar, Biting Jabs, the stamina morph. Hands down the best spammable in the game, and a lot of the Templar's passives are coming from this skill alone. Easy to use, a lot of fun to use, and also works very, very well with our set, which I'll explain in a minute. And for our ultimate, we have Crescent Sweep. Do not use Empowering Sweep, use Crescent Sweep. It hits really, really hard. This ultimate, with its cheap cost, also allows us to proc Burning Light very frequently. And when paired with Power of the Light, it gets really ridiculous with the amount of burst that you can get. On our back bar, we have Race Against Time, giving us Major Expedition and Minor Force, also allowing us to get out of snares a lot easier. If you do not have Race Against Time, you can always use Living Dark. Next up, we have Extended Ritual, which gets rid of 5 harmful effects or negative effects, and also while standing inside of it, we get Minor Mending, which increases our healing. Next up, we have Elude. Why not Shuffle? Because I like having a lot more uptime on Major Expedition, so we can move around a lot quicker. After that, we have Rally, very self-explanatory, access to Major Brutality, and also giving us Minor Endurance, increasing our stam recovery. This is also our Burst Heal, a very loaded skill. And finally, we have Restoring Focus. This is our armor buff. It also allows us to get some good stam recovery, and you can spam this to get your Frenzied Momentum ready to go. And finally, we have Dawnbreaker of Smiting as our ultimate on our back bar. This is here because the fighter's good passives can buff our entire bar, but also you can use Dawnbreaker defensively or offensively. It's really up to you and how you are able to use it. If you don't want to use Dawnbreaker, you can use Undo, and if you don't want to use Undo or you just don't have access to Undo, you can also use Barrier from the support tree. And for our champion points, in the role player tree, we have Master Gatherer, Treasure Hunter, Plentiful Harvest, and Steed's Blessing. In the sweaty tree, we have Master at Arms, Biting Aura, Ironclad, and Duelist Rebuff. And in the potato tree, we have Celerity, Survival Instincts, Sustained by Suffering, and Slippery. If you don't want to use Slippery, you can use Relentlessness, which will give you access to Major Protection, which is very powerful, especially after getting stunned. And when filling out Mystic Tenacity, do not fill out the bar all the way. Fill it out to only the first bar, as filling it out all the way will give you less usage out of Survival Instincts. And go ahead and fill out all the little golden stars, but aim for those passives. So this part of the video is to make those unfamiliar with the mechanics of some of these sets understandable. So when reading the Plague Break set, it says once per attack. Jabs attacks 4 times, so every single attack will apply the Plague Break status effect. So if there are 4 enemies grouped on top of each other and you cast one set of jabs, all 4 of them will have Plague Break. In our other set, the Deadly Strike set, it says it buffs dot damage and channeled ability damage by 15%. Jabs is considered a channeled ability, so it'll buff the damage of jabs, which is why we use it. Also, Deadly buffs Power of the Light, as Power of the Light is considered a channeled ability, as you can see here in the background. And the final thing is the rotation, which I'll go over swiftly. It's really simple. Buff up before you're gonna go and attack something. Switch. Power of the Light. Javelin, move in, and then just jab. You can use Crescent as soon as you get on top of them, but normally you just be jabbing the whole time. Very easy rotation, and it is very beginner friendly. Welcome. I do believe that wraps up the build. I hope you very much enjoyed the build as much as I did. Playing it, learning it, figuring it out, making it work for me. It's very fun, very enjoyable, somewhat. Not in lag. Lag can go somewhere else. Me being a relatively new content creator, I'm always looking for any support that you guys can give, whether it's just a simple comment, sharing the video around, or just, liking and subscribing. All of it goes a very long way in encouraging me to make more videos and more builds, so if you want to see anything specific, go ahead and leave it in the comments, and I'll see if I can do it. But I don't think any builds this patch will come close to the Stamina Dragonite. Overall, it's just too powerful. But if you wanted to play Stamina Templar, here you go. I made a build for you, and it works. It's got my stamp of approval on it. It's got Evelynn's stamp of approval on it. But at the end of the day, I'm just another ESO player. I'm nowhere near being the best ESO player. I just enjoy the game, and I like making videos about it. Look, I know this outro's gone on long enough, but I want to add a rating system to all the builds I make in the future. So for this build, I need to explain the rating system first. So I'm going to do it in terms of stars, 1 star being a very unfriendly to beginners kind of build, so it's not the easiest thing in the world to pick up, and then 5 stars being a very easy, beginner-friendly kind of build. This would be adapted into everyone else's YouTube channel, but I think that'd be pretty cool if they could just give the build a rating on how easy they think it is to pick up and play. But I'm specifically aiming this at new players that would like to know if the build is really worth their trouble to try and put together. So I'm going to give this build a nice 5 out of 5 stars. This build is really easy to pick up and play, especially since it's a Templar. Got a bunch of healing power, and it's got a bunch of damage that you can put out with it with no trouble to get the gear either. I tried to make it at least not too difficult to get the gear, but yep. Thanks for watching. Have a good night. Look, I had the same occurrence. Okay, I spent I spent 85 keys trying to get a magma shoulder in medium. Guess what I didn't get?
A magma shoulder in medium?
Yeah, pretty sure they're gonna nerf Plague Break soon.
No.
Because that's what Zoss does. They nerf stuff. That's
okay,
good.
well then, I should probably put it on my DK tonight.
Yeah, you should probably use it.
Before it's not good anymore.
Yep, get some enjoyment out of it.